just like that.
What up, LonelyMans? Today we're joined by special guest John Scott.
Hello.
What's up, John?
Oh, I'm just hanging out. I'm really happy to be here, guys.
Great to have you, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, dude. How you been?
I've been all right.
Nice. Has anything exciting happened? Or we have so much ground to cover in
We
this
do.
podcast.
You hit me up because you wanted to promote a song, and I was like, we've never done that before. Let's fucking go, dude.
Right? Fuck yeah, dude.
I do have to say, I appreciate the shameless self-promotion. That is right up. That's right up the Benbow alley. I support that.
Well, I also saw how many followers you guys had, and I was like, I could probably help them out a little bit too.
That'd be nice. Quid pro quo, dude. Am I saying that right?
Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
Is that
pro quo?
No, I think you did say it right.
Like, you help us out, we help you out.
Yeah, that's how
you know.
communities and scenes work. That's
Yeah,
that's how it
right.
goes, baby.
We're all artists here.
You gotta be on the other end of the glory hole sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah,
That's how it goes.
sometimes.
Most people turn our podcast off within 5 minutes, so quickly promote anything you need to promote right now.
New song. It's called "Ain't Nothin Wrong." It's gonna be out this Friday or January 14th. If this isn't out by then.
That was 3 days ago. It's now Monday the 17th.
What? Oh,
This comes out
this is-
Monday.
Okay, perfect.
So it's out
All right.
now.
All right, it's out now. All streaming platforms. You can find me on Instagram or johnscott.music.
Link in the description.
Spotify, Apple Music. The song's everywhere.
Do you? What kind of music do you do?
It's like rock, pop, folk.
Okay.
Shit. It's,
Yeah, let's do a few snippets. It's like some old school like rock and roll.
Yeah, essentially.
It's good.
So I do that. I've been getting with this one. It says get more poppy and like synthy and shit with it as time goes on.
What are
Okay.
your inspiring artists? Like what artists? Yeah.
Dude, I hate when people ask that. Because
You don't have to answer
We're
that
off to
question.
a good
many.
start. All right. Anybody else have any questions for him?
Better question.
What's your writing process like?
What drugs are best to be on when you listen to your music?
Oh, there we go. That's a lonely man's question.
Adderall.
Oh, where's
Adderall's
Paul?
the best drug for music ever. I don't care what anyone says.
To make music or listening to music?
To make music and to listen to it, because like you listen to shit on Adderall, you're like, oh fuck, I could go in there and tweak that like that much.
He's like, I'm always listening to it on Adderall because I made it on Adderall.
Yeah,
So.
it makes my own shit more interesting to me. It's like,
Very
Made
focused.
by people on Adderall for people on Adderall.
Dude, we're gonna promote this heavy to Paul Cyphers. I'm just sending your song right to Paul Cyphers.
See Paul 2 weeks later. I haven't stopped listening to this. I've been
I'll be like, this is the best song I've ever heard.
What about acid? You got anything for acid?
do I have anything for acid?
Just the reflux.
I don't know. Oh, dude, fucking whippets are fun. On
Same,
whippets
dude.
are pretty fun for music.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
I
could
like
see
doing
that.
Whippets.
I
But don't
passed-
those only last like 30 seconds?
Yeah, but those 30 seconds feel like an eternity.
Yeah, dude. How long is a song? Like
Maybe his
4
song
minutes?
only
Like 3
lasts
minutes?
30 seconds.
Okay, I
How do
guess
we
that was
know?
like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you do 6 whippets for one song. You're good to go.
Wait,
Exactly.
you can do that
The
many
whole-
whippets at once?
Yeah, you can get the whole song.
How many? Like how? Okay,
Big enough balloon.
Yeah,
First-
exactly. It depends on the bloom.
All right, I'm just gonna be. I have no idea how to do whip. I've never done a whippet.
I
There are
passed
many.
out.
There are many ways to do
Yeah.
whippets.
So what are you just sucking on some balloons?
Yeah, like you got like so you got the CO2 canister. You guys don't have like toddlers watching this or anything, right? Like, I can
Babies
talk-
all this is actually
I'm gonna age restrict it to only toddlers.
No, but like you get the fucking canister and you can use a cracker and then like burst the canister into a balloon. And
Yeah.
you can suck out a balloon, but they also just have like
whip-
crackers.
the whipped cream
or the whipped cream
canisters.
canisters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're
use it-
speaking to some pros here.
yeah,
right now.
no, Joe, y'all just went like went some like method.
So you can go to any sex shop and you ask for whipped cream chargers. I went in one time and I thought I was being professional and I was like, "Do you have nitrous oxide cartridges?" And they're like, I think you mean whipped cream chargers." And I was like, "Yeah, give me a box of those, please."
Let me buy the whole store.
I was like,
I
"Oh
need to
shit,
make a
they got."
shit ton of cake.
Yeah.
A shit ton of cake.
I was like, "Oh man, they got poppers at the desk." They're like, "That's nail polish remover." I was like, "I'm leaving."
yeah, absolutely, dude.
man.
I'm like, "Oh, vibrators. Those are clitoral stimulators, sir."
Those are back massagers.
Yeah, back with some, please
Those are
exit the store.
personal massagers.
that's just a shower head, all right.
So you could do the whipped cream charger, but the real pro hippies, the real dirtbags, have the fucking They look like fire extinguishers.
Yeah, the 4-foot tall canisters.
Yeah, they steal them
do
from
one-
like dental offices.
like the
do one of
Grateful Dead
those-
shit.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. How long does that last if you do one of those?
It all lasts like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna last any
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah,
A minute at
Yeah,
most.
exactly. Let me just fucking break it down.
It's a minute of wah 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 wah.
So do you just like hit it and then you're like, I gotta write a fucking hit right now? Go. You're
Well, it's
just
more
like,
like if you're fucking listening to
Well-
music, like it just fucking feels like it's like bouncing back and forth in your head.
Yeah.
is that good?
Yeah.
Feels like you're in the song.
All right, cool.
Well, don't
mean,
you have
I
to
fuck
like
with it.
take oxygen too to get back to like base?
You're
Yeah, you
always
just
technically taking
yeah.
oxygen.
All right, so yeah, good point, Holly. Because when I was at the gathering of the Juggalos a couple years
Quick
ago,
plug.
I was on acid, and my friend, we had to leave the main stage because Gwar was playing, and there's space aliens that throw blood on people, and it was
Ew.
too intense. I couldn't.
Yeah,
So-
on acid, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I was like, can we go somewhere else? And everyone was like, yeah, we can. So we walked down the hill, and you just hear, and my friend's like, yo, I'm buying whippets. And it's like when someone says they're buying shots, you can't really turn it down.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing balloons. So he's like, 4 balloons, please. And the guy had the tank and filled up 4 balloons. So I'm like, I'm cheap. I don't want to buy another one. I was like, I'm going to make this one last. So I keep breathing it in, and then I inhale it, and then I exhale it back into the balloon.
Oh yeah, that is a key.
That's a move,
yeah,
right?
that's. Oh yeah, we really do have a problem.
So,
Some really experienced folks here.
so yeah, I'm breathing it in, blowing it back into the balloon, breathing it in, back into the balloon, and then all of a sudden I'm being pulled off the ground by both my arms, and my friends are like, oh shit. And some girl I hear to the side of me goes, welcome to the gathering. And as I'm coming out of the Whippet High, I go, bitch, I know where I'm at. I've been here before. And my friend's like, yo, Jesse, dust your cheeks off, bro. I was like, well, he's like, dust your cheeks off. And I reached to my ass, and it's just covered in dirt. So I forgot to breathe oxygen, and I passed out. And I fished out for a couple seconds. I squirmed around on the ground. Have you seen this before?
beautiful.
Well, I had like an out of body experience once. Like I
Yeah.
packed like 3 whippets into one balloon.
Yeah.
Fucking hit it, and I saw myself like looking down, and like my friend like fucking like nudges me, goes, "You good?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "You were just staring at the fucking ground for like 3 minutes, or, like for like a whole minute." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It was fucking insane." But I don't know. I had a good time. It was kind of fun. It was like
Yeah.
to be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Kind of. It felt psychedelic. It was really psychedelic.
It is a
for-
psychedelic, yeah.
That's how you know you're fucked up when you forget to breathe.
Yes.
That's how you know that shit just
Yes.
hits you in a whole nother level.
I just wish that I got to see the balloon fly away from me as I fell to the ground.
Did you spaz out? Did you fish out before you hit the ground? Because that means you felt like you got electrocuted, like, which would be fucking hilarious.
The
to
electric
watch.
eel.
He's just going down in like a, looking like he's doing a
I
bootleg
would love
Harlem
to
Shake.
just have been a bystander to see that.
Yeah, right?
I wish that someone had footage of me falling to the ground.
Like you and your friend are like debating on like whether or not you should get whippets, and then you see you like fall, and you're like, "We're definitely getting fucking whippets now."
It's always the craziest shit that happens when you wish somebody was there to record it because you're
Yeah.
too in the moment to record that shit.
Yeah.
That happened to me yesterday. So I just moved into a new apartment, and I like ordered like this big ass TV off of Amazon, and I was like, I didn't have any furniture.
Say it's
set up to-
70 inches.
It's like, yeah, it's like 65, 70 inches, something like that. It's like massive. It took up the whole when they said. So all right, so I'll get to it because it plays a part in the story.
Okay.
So I'm still staying at the other place, but I'm having everything delivered to the new place. So then I wake up at like 9. I check my email when I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, this TV's been delivered. It's taken up like they sent a picture of it on Amazon that was delivered. It's taken up like the whole hallway to my apartment. I'm like, cool. And then I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I'll go during my lunch break and just go put it inside. And I'm like, you know, maybe I should just fuck it. I'm just gonna go right now. So then I'm like, just go now. So I'm driving. So I drive to the apartment. It's like 7 minutes away. I get there, and I'm
What
driving.
time is this?
This is at like 9.
Okay.
In the morning, at like 9:30. And I from the main street, I can see my door, and like the hallway, and I can see my door, and the TV's not there. I'm like, maybe somebody moved it to the like leasing office or something. I'll just pull in and double check. and I turn into the building. And as I'm turning into like the parking lot, I see a truck like pulling out with the same TV that had just got delivered to me. It's in the back of their truck. And in an instant, I don't know.
Is it standing up in the back of the truck?
No, it's like a laying down, but because it's so big, it's like 65 inches.
Is it
it's massive.
sticking out the side of the truck?
It's sticking out the back of the cab. Like it's taking up the whole bed of the truck, and it's like sticking out the back of the thing.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
leaning in.
Yeah.
So I can see it pretty good, and I'm like, that looks in my hand. I'm like, that looks just like the TV I bought, and it's not at my door. And I try to like pull up on that. I roll down my window. I'm like, hey, that's my fucking TV. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. So I try to.
Are you driver's side to driver's side?
So I'm driver's side. So I'm driver's side, and he's coming out. So we're driver's side to driver's side.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this motherfucker. So I try to block him into the parking lot, and he just like squirts around me. So I flip a bitch, and I start following him down the street. I'm just honking at this motherfucker, man, just laying on the horn.
Is this on Old Torf?
This is on Parker Lane.
Okay.
So we're going down Parker Lane.
Yeah.
I'm just honking at this motherfucker. For like 15 seconds, we're driving down the hill. I'm just behind this dude, like blaring on the horn. This motherfucker pulls over to the side of the road, acting like he doesn't know what's going on.
Why would he pull over?
Bro, so he pulls over. Because at first I don't think he knew like that I was like talking about the TV.
Yeah.
Because I was like yelling at it. He like squirted around me and drove around me. Like in my mind, I'm having this conversation, rolling down my window trying to get it, but he probably thinking something else.
He's confused. He's like, why is there a black guy telling me I stole his TV?
Yeah, right. And I was talking to my black roommate about this. I'm like, 2022 is a weird year when white guys are running down the street with TVs.
Oh, these are two white guys?
I'm just glad it was two white guys. So I get to the. I really am. If it was my niggas, I would have just been like, damn, bruh.
Yeah.
So I'm blaring on the fucking horn. Finally, the dude pulls over, and I'm like, okay. So I open my car door, and I'm like getting out. I'm like, dude, I just bought this fucking TV. I'm showing him my Amazon picture or whatever delivery thing, and he's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And like I thought he was gonna get out of the car as I'm getting out. Like I thought he was gonna get out. He like opened his door a little bit, and then he closes the door and flips a bitch. And at the time I'm like, and his window was down. I was like, dude, I have your license plate. Don't make me call the police. Like just give me the fucking TV back.
Yeah.
And then for like a second, I think it got him because he like hesitated, and then like he was gonna drive off. I'm like, I ran back in my car, and I'm like, I flipped a bitch because he flipped a bitch. So
Yeah.
I'm following him, and then he like stops a little bit, and he looks out the window. He like motions me to follow him.
Wow.
So I'm driving. So we drive back to the parking lot we originally started in.
Wow.
And like he goes to turn in, and some guy jumps out, like, and then he like pulls into the parking lot, and he's like, yeah, man, I
Does
don't know.
the guy run away from the truck? The guy that
He
jumps
just
out?
kind of walked away, kind of like scurried away a little sketchily.
Yeah. Put his head down.
Yeah, he had
Fast
a little
walked.
backpack. He kind of disappeared at that point. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, is this really happening? Am I really gonna get this back right now?
Yeah.
And so then we go over there. He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. He said it was his, whatever, man. I was like, yeah, dude, that's not his. It's definitely mine. So I take the TV and I put it in the car. Meanwhile, wherever he had pulled up at, apparently the guy that he was with had stole like packages from a bunch of people in the complex. Like one dude had just
so there
gone
was a
through.
bunch of
So there was like
stuff
a
in
bunch of
there?
people sitting outside, like trying to find out who it
Yeah.
was and like calling the police.
Did you see
and, like,
any other boxes in the truck?
what's up? There was some other stuff in the truck, but I didn't see anything else. Like, I mean, I wasn't even paying attention, bro.
Yeah, you were just taking the TV.
The TV was
Let me
massive.
the
too.
That guy's
package
probably like
hero.
a menace. On like, you guys ever use Nextdoor? Like the app Nextdoor?
Yeah.
It's like Facebook for your neighborhood.
Cyphers was on that for a while. Remember, he was like trying to be a
I
private
thought that was
investigator.
I thought that was the
Citizen app. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the
Oh,
main
yeah.
problem on all those apps. Like the people who like steal people's packages and shit like that. Like there's like the most. They're like fucking Osama bin Laden. Yeah, like, whenever, it's crazy.
Just
So
on
it's like a
there.
huge problem. It's weird too, because like if some dude's just like walking out with a fucking TV, you think someone would check. Maybe like to be like, is that
Yeah.
your TV? Like, I don't know.
I don't
if
know.
I worked in the building, it might be something.
But
like,
I'm a big fan of minding my own goddamn business.
Same.
So
It's
also
like,
true. It's
when
also
I don't question what people are doing. Do you, boo boo? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. I would probably because at that point, like then you start being suspicious and like checking out everybody. What did you do? Like
Yeah.
that seems like a fucked up way
If
to
our
live.
neighbor was like, "Yo, my TV got delivered and got stolen," I'd be like, "Damn, that sucks." Like,
Yeah, dude. I mean, so that's how I was about to be. Oh, and then the last part is, so I get the TV back. I'm like jazzed up, and I'm hyped. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Can you
How did
carry
happen?
this TV by yourself?
It's very light, by the way.
Oh,
like,
all right.
yeah, because it's all so thin. It's like a
Yeah.
little like thing on the wall, bro. I just carried it back,
Yeah.
and then
it's all
the-
surface area.
Yeah, just that's all it is. And then the dude, so then the other guy, he'd gotten a bunch of shit stolen from him, and some of his boys were like going around looking for him, and they're like, "Oh, he's over there." And like as I'm getting in my car to like leave, I'm like, I see him take off running, and I don't think anything of it. So I drive around the parking lot maze or whatever, and I get to the main road, and I'm seeing off in the distance there's this Korean church across the street, and these 4 dudes got homeboy surrounded, and they're like in his face. I'm like, I think this dude just got his ass beat. But I mean, I gotta get. I'm still, mind you, I didn't even like. I'm still at work technically. Like I didn't like get off a call. Like I'm still just supposed to be there.
You're on the clock.
I'm on the clock chasing down the TV. This dude's getting his ass beat in the parking lot.
Pirates.
Yeah, the whole thing happened in a span of like 20 minutes. This whole thing happened from like start to finish. Like from the time I left to the time I got back, the whole thing was like 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
So I literally just pulled in, and like me and this dude went at it. It was like 3 minutes in real time of all this happening, of me being like, yo, that's my TV, and him driving away and coming back. The whole thing happened very quickly. It was just, and I think about it, like if I would have waited like a minute later than of leaving to get there, I would have never seen that guy.
No.
Like if I would have even waited like 30 seconds later, I would have never seen it, because he was literally like, he turns out that street.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows?
And you probably
would have learned about the Nextdoor app then.
I'm about to learn. I'm gonna learn today. I
Next
just learned
time,
yesterday.
Nextdoor.
Yeah, so that shit was fucking crazy.
And you didn't get like insurance on the delivery or anything, right?
No, you know what's funny? I saw that. I was like, insurance on the delivery. Who needs that? And then,
I knew someone who did buy delivery insurance, and it was for a box of Whippets.
That's good. That makes sense. That's a smart financial decision.
They
weirdly.
reported it stolen and got a second box of Whippets for the festival. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
that is
so
the most. That is the most Juggalo thing to do. Commit insurance fraud
Some
on
companies like, we
Whippets.
take care of our customers.
Yeah. I only hang out with high level juggalos.
Oh man, insurance
Dude,
fraud on Whippets.
You would have been asked out on that TV for
Yeah,
sure.
I would have been out of. Yeah, I would have been out for that whole thing. For
I don't
sure.
get any Amazon packages delivered here. I get them. Well, I don't know where. There might be a place you can get the TV dropped off, like an Amazon pickup shop or something.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. Is anything I order, I'm just gonna order for pickup.
There's a locker down the street at DD's Discount, so I'll get small things delivered over there.
Well, the other thing I realized is most of the time, what fucked me up is I'm just so used to being home because I work from home all day. So I'm usually home all the time during deliveries. Like I would have just normally been there, but because I'd left my work laptop at the other place I was staying, I was just like, let me just work from there for the day, which I wasn't planning on.
Like stealing people's packages is crazy though, because like you don't even know what you're gonna get.
No.
Like, maybe that's part of the thrill though. Like maybe that's part of the thing.
Oh,
The
this
TV
they knew what they were gonna get though. They knew exactly what it
I
was.
can see that.
Sometimes
Yeah,
they have
that's different.
pictures on the outside. Like that's how all my Christmas surprises have gotten ruined. Like that's just sitting right there. I'm like, there's
Like
your
that.
gift, mom. There's
That happened to me
surprise.
this year. I ordered my niece's like 150 pack of sidewalk chalk.
I thought you were gonna say a 150 pack of Whippets.
I did, yeah. Well,
Next generation.
they're not toddlers
Little
anymore, so they've
juggalos.
outgrown that.
It just grew up.
Yeah, I got him a big box of sidewalk chalk, and my sister said the package got dropped off right before their school bus pulled up. So they got off the bus and just saw a big box of sidewalk chalk in front of the house and started flipping out.
Savage. You know what I found, by the way? I just found my my cruise ship ID.
Oh, yeah?
I don't even know. How can you ID anybody with this?
The shadowy
It
figure.
looks like
Look
a
at this.
generic
Wait
like
a
before
minute.
you post your profile picture.
What the
That doesn't even. How do you even identify anybody with it? You're just like this could be
looks,
any.
It looks like you have a thick African accent in this ID.
I look like a fake African in that.
It looks like a police sketch on the 6 o'clock news.
so bootleg.
He's between 5 foot and 7 foot tall.
Yeah, that's the guy right there.
Oh my god, that's
you-
funny.
We talk about it a lot.
Pass it around.
I used to work on a cruise ship back in the day.
What was it cool?
It was cool for a time. The hardest part about work, the craziest part, is that the rest of this card here, these other cards, they're like, oh, in case of an emergency, you are a life raft launch team leader. I'm a raft launch team leader. That means
Does the green card signify anything?
the green card is just that's what it signifies. That's the card, emergency.
Are there different colored cards? For
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things?
There's like blue, red, and like yellow and shit. Different ones.
So
white.
green is life raft.
So, like-
this one.
So like on the cruise ship, though, like you can't really like party and stuff or anything like that.
What do you mean?
Like what? Like when you're
I can't party?
if you're working on the cruise ship, like you can't be partying with everyone, right?
Not. I mean, one, you work a lot, so that's the other thing. Two, You can, but if you do anything stupid or you get drunk, you're gonna get or you get caught doing that, you're gonna get fired. Like, so most of the time we just party with each other.
That's how they got rid of you, right?
That's how they got me. Yeah. So, because there's a rule on the ship that if you blow above a .02.
Oh shit! That sounds right, but that's a really low amount.
It's like a beer.
That's like one beer. Yeah. But the thing is, they have 3 bars.
Do random.
No, they have 3. They can. They do have 3 bars just for crew members on there, and they sell and serve discounted and like cheap alcohol all day.
But don't finish that drink.
Yeah. Bro, you can buy it and then look at it. But like, yeah, so there's just like an excuse to get rid of people if they want to. Just like, oh, is that a beer? Bye-bye, Negro. Like, they just get you like that.
Because I was on a cruise ship, and like, it was like the staff was like cool as fuck. I kept trying to like buy them shots.
They party way harder than like the regular people do.
Well, because I was like, well, you party with us? They're like, no, I gotta, like, you know, like the cruise gets weird after everyone goes to sleep. He's like, that's when we come out.
Yeah.
Like, you want to take a shot with me? He's like, you guys probably couldn't keep up with us.
Bro, you don't, because you guys like drinking on the thing. People on the ship drink like every day for like 6-month contracts.
Yeah, that's
like,
your 1 week to go nuts. Whereas they live it.
Bro, we live this. It's like you just wake up in a different island, and we just be like, oh, especially like on nights when we didn't have to work late, or like some days I'd have off, which is very rare. Yeah. Bro, we turn up, and then you just go out to an island, and then you just drink on the beach all day, and you just come back all litty, and it was just like.
Does sound great. I'd love to do like the musician on a cruise ship thing.
Yo,
because
if you're a musician on a cruise ship, my boy,
you don't do shit. Like,
bro,
you basically
don't
play at 9:00 at night, and the rest of the fucking day you can like go join.
Bro, I'm telling you, my boy Sam used to do this shit. Yeah, and he would just play, and you just like meet all these like hot ass girls that are on the ship because they're playing.
Yeah, you'd be swimming in it, bro.
You're swimming, and my boy was a DJ. Yeah, my boy was
literally
a DJ
drowning in puss.
You're drowning for.
You'd have to get the guy. You'd have to get Ben with the life raft over to save you from all that pussy.
I always used to say, if this shit goes down, dude, everyone's gonna die. There's no way. If hungover me has to save the rest of the squad, we're all fucked.
Are you CPR certified?
What's up?
CPR certified.
I used to be.
I also used to be.
Were you a lifeguard or anything?
No, I was a nanny.
Almost the same.
All right, I was a babysitter. Shut up.
Working on the ship was crazy, though. We used to. I don't think I've ever worked on a place that was cleaned more often. I was thinking about this.
That's a big thing to clean too.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like I realized why COVID, like in quarantining and like lockdowns and stuff, didn't even like register as weird in my mind. Because on the ship, if you had like an outbreak for like
was it norovirus?
No, it used to be GI back then, was like the biggest thing. It was like a gastrointestinal stomach bug or whatever. If you had like an outbreak of anything like that, you'd be in the middle of the ocean. You'd be fucked. So like literally anytime we were on a cruise, like we'd sanitize like 5 times a day the whole area. We'd wipe and sanitize like every day for like ever. And then they'd have like cleaning crews come through every 12 hours. And
were there people handing out hand sanitizer?
Bro, this was well before like the COVID stuff. This was like way before that. It's just like the life on there.
The last cruise I went on was in like fucking August to Greece, and like it was like super. It was weird because I like looked around and thought like we're probably the cleanest group of people like in the world right now, like for COVID, because like we were all tested beforehand. We had to get tested every couple days on the ship. Mm-hmm. Like everyone was like wearing masks like the first day or something like that. I was like, dude, we're the cleanest group of people in the world right now.
Yeah, they clean that shit like crazy because
it was wild.
Because if you have an outbreak, you're fucked. Like you're just all on the same ship. And did you go to Santorini?
Yeah, I went to. It was fucking. But Santorini wasn't even my fucking favorite part of Greece.
It's not. Yeah. Did you go up the little hill with the donkeys?
Yeah, fucking watching everything, and like that's the whole thing. Like the beauty of Santorini is like when you roll up, you're like, oh, this is stunning.
And when you're walking across that little thing on the top, when you can see the water with all the white place roofs, and if you stay there, it's pretty chill. Yeah, like if you're staying in those spots.
My favorite place, like Mykonos, like if you're gonna party somewhere, you're gonna go to Mykonos.
Yeah, that's the party island for sure.
And also we stopped it because there was because COVID didn't allow us to go it was like we were supposed to go to Istanbul.
Yeah.
But they ended up doing a detour to this like medieval town called Monemvasia, and it was like the prettiest fucking town of it. It's like no one knows about it.
In what country?
It's in Greece.
Okay.
It's just like a small medieval town, and it's fucking just like incredible.
Yo.
And no one fucking knows about it.
There's a lot of places like that. Like one of my low key favorite places I went was like going to Croatia and Dubrovnik and like Split, and they all kind of look like that, with like the old like style like cobblestone like castles and shit. And it's fucking beautiful. Like Dubrovnik is where they actually filmed a lot of Game of Thrones scenes. So like King's Landing was all like Game of Thrones and shit.
They
And
probably have Game of Thrones tours now.
they do. You
You
can go there and check out all the spots and like be like, and this is the spot from the show.
My friend went to New
It's
Zealand.
fucking beautiful.
The Hobbit.
He did like the
Yep.
Hobbit, like Lord of the Rings shit. He's got like this
Yeah.
picture of him looking like a fucking nerd dressed like a hobbit.
Like a fucking
Lawrence,
nerd.
I hope you're watching this. but it was cool as fuck. I was like, that seems like one of the cool. He's like, this is where Boromir got killed. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Secretly, you're like, you're a nerd, but damn
Yeah,
it, that's
I was
pretty
like,
fucking
I
cool.
envy you.
It is
I
pretty
am.
cool.
Yeah, you got real. I watched Lord of the Ring vibes with that mustache. Like you can't.
so.
Yeah.
I
It's a
honestly-
quality stash.
I can't remember the last time. Like, it started as a joke to just have a mustache.
Yeah.
And then I haven't shaved it in like 4 or 5 years.
Did you have the mullet last time I saw you? Or is
No,
that new?
I just got the mullet like 2 days ago.
Dude, congrats.
Sounds like it's like a puppy.
It's
I
like,
just got the mullet.
that's how I feel about it. Like,
Yeah.
I've
I
never
just
been,
adopted the mullet.
That's how I've been talking to people about
It
it. I'm just like,
rescued me.
Yeah, I just feel exactly.
I had a skin tight
didn't
fade all the
rescue
way
the
around,
mullet,
so
the
I had to
mullet
grow the mullet out of nothing. And for months, people were like, "What do you got going on there?" It wasn't until like
like, I'm
6
working on
months in, they were like, "Oh, you got a mullet." I was like, finally, I'm being recognized. for my dream.
Being
But it's funny. It's like I woke up one morning and was like, it's like my hair was a fucking mess. I knew I was like in the middle of job interviews and shit like that. I was like, I need to do. I wish I had a hairdo.
Yeah.
That just like kind of just stayed in place. I've never had a hairdo. It's always been like a mop or like the shortcut.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's fucking do it. I was in the shower. Told my roommate, he's like, let's go get a fucking mullet right now. Literally, like, it happened all in like 30 minutes.
Did you go to a barber or did you do it yourself?
Yeah, I went to Floyd's barber and it fucking killed it. I went in there and the lady was like, I haven't done a mullet in so long. Like, I'm so excited to do this mullet.
Wow.
And you're like the perfect mullet candidate. I was like, oh, this is meant to be. It was meant to be.
Nah, bro, you got some luscious locks going on over there.
Thank
know?
you. Yeah, no, I fucking love the mullet.
Yeah, shit.
yeah.
Don't say that too much. Holly might get a little excited. There's too many moments on here.
Shit. I was also like, yesterday, I was just walking
They
around
just
and I
find
heard,
me, Ben.
Mullets do love
This is the most mullets we've had on the podcast so far. We need to
mullet.
break the record.
Well, I heard that song by fucking Billy Ray Cyrus, I Want My Mullet Back, too, yesterday after I got the mullet.
I haven't
And
heard this.
I've like, it's like the first time I've heard this song in forever.
Yeah.
It's a really good fucking song. And he's like, I want my mullet back. And I was like, gotcha,
Sounds really
Billy.
good.
Have you heard?
That's what I love about country music. Just whatever
You're like,
he's
you
thinking
heard
right
this song?
there.
It's hard.
want
It's
my
like,
mullet
it's,
back.
it's a
Beautiful.
really mundane title, and it's like, that's going to be a fucking hit. Like,
Yeah.
Millions of people are going to fucking get that.
That's beautiful. Have you heard $1 Million Mullet by Riff Raff and Yellow Wolf?
No.
I gotta send that to you.
Bet it's fucking. I saw the podcast with Theo Vaughn and Riff Raff talking about mullets.
Yeah.
It was another kind of, I think, inspiring thing that kind of clicked in my head. I was like, you know what? They do look really good with fucking mullets.
Yeah.
So,
They get the old school like baseball mullets.
yeah.
I don't know what I got.
I've
going
also
on
been
here.
watching Seinfeld, and like Jerry's got that weird like kind of 90s mullet thing the whole time, and I was like, I
Yep.
feel like there's a way to keep doing like subtle mullets like that where it doesn't look super corny. Where, like,
Subtle mullets.
Mullets are like cornrows for white guys. I dig it. You guys
Exactly,
are like,
it's
you know,
They're
exactly.
coming
doing it,
back.
yeah.
That's the one thing I never saw like coming back.
I know. Like
Like-
as a child, I always used to make fun of them.
I grew mine out for Texas. I was like, I need to have a little Texas flair to me.
Yeah.
So I grew the Dallas shag out, but
Yeah.
I'm in Austin. It makes no sense.
As much as people say like, oh, it's Austin, it's different than Texas. Yes, but like we're still in fucking Texas.
Yes.
And everyone says that or everyone says that it's like a really liberal place, but I'm like, dude, you're fucking in Texas. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
Yeah.
man.
There was
Austin
a
is
guy
like-
in Massachusetts that was growing a mullet just for no reason at all.
You're not even moving
Shout
to Texas.
out
You can,
Owen. He
Austin
cut
is like
it. It's gone.
Austin is like the 3-2 beer of Texas, you know? Like, it's still beer. It's just a little bit lighter than the areas around it. But you
Yeah.
drink enough of it, you're still going to get the Texas in you.
Exactly.
Like, for sure.
How long have you been in Austin?
I've been here for about a year and a half. I think I like moved here like a month or two, like a week or two before you did, or like so. The first time we met, I was doing open mics. We were
Right.
at Lucky Duck.
That was the week. It was a week ago. It was a year ago this week. Ben, Paul, and I visited Austin to see
Yeah.
if we liked it.
So I think you hadn't even moved here yet. I
No.
think you were like still in Boston thinking about moving here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We moved here April 1st.
Yeah. Cool.
And then I
yeah.
saw you at Kill Tony like right when I got back.
Right, yeah, it was like the first. You didn't get on that night though. You got on like a couple
weeks later, yeah.
I think that Kill Tony that I went to. I think it was like I want to say maybe Hans Kim's first time like
Yeah.
going up or something like that.
I think so.
Remember, you know that dude Agabar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That was like, it was funny because I saw him do like open mics, and he always used to go up to like a group of like 20, 30-year-old white people and go like, so who else has smoked crack here? Like he always just like started singing with that. And I was
Yeah.
like, and like no, it would never hit. And then he went on Kill Tony, did like the same bit, and I saw him just crush. And I was like, oh, I guess it's just the audience.
Akbar crushed on Kill Tony.
Yeah, he did. Like the one that
Did he
like,
say and shit? Because that's my favorite.
yeah.
That's
Well,
his
it's like,
catchphrase.
it's like Dave Lucas was up there too, and like he was like started like messing with him.
Oh yeah, they were like roasting each other back
And they
and
started
forth.
roasting each other back and forth. And you could tell like fucking Agabar was actually like kind of holding together. It was,
little
like,
bit,
it was,
yeah.
Like, it's funny to see.
We should get Agabar on the podcast.
Yeah, we should get him out and shit.
That guy, and another fucking funny thing is that he used to show up in like just like baggy like hood ass clothes, and for the Kill Tony thing, he has like this button down, like
Yeah.
nice shirt, like tucked in.
He looked like a
pants.
banker.
Yeah, he looked like like he had just a regular office job.
Yeah.
It's like this is a totally different guy.
No, you see him out with like weed socks and like gym shorts and like Jordans and shit.
Is he a 14-year-old in woodshop class? What?
Yo, say that to his face. Though.
65-year-old.
I will say, shout out to that motherfucker because he's jacked as shit. Like,
Yeah.
He's
yo,
yoked.
he's fucking yoked out of his mind.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck? I was like, and he's not like one of those like people that look like they like took steroids and are like big. Like he's like one of those people like you're like, I don't think he's that big, and then you see him with like a short sleeve shirt and like, oh fuck, this
He's
dude's
doing,
like
like-
chiseled out of stone.
He
like,
does
doing-
like pull ups on the playground and
yeah,
shit.
this
Yeah.
dude's like doing like handstand push-ups and shit.
He's curling gallons of milk and stuff.
Yeah, monster.
There are those people you like look at and go like, you don't look like you work out, but for some reason you're fucking shredded.
Yeah.
I don't really get those people.
No,
Those
where'd
are
you
very
come from?
weird.
Where'd you move from here from?
So I moved here from New Orleans. I just like finished school up and shit like that, and I told my band.
You
I
went to
was like-
Tulane?
I went to Loyola.
Okay.
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah.
I knew a bunch of people from Tulane, but I did that, and then I'm originally from Oakland, like the Bay Area.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
California?
Oh shit.
I was out there last month.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
In the Bay Area.
In Oakland. I did a show at this hotel in
I
Oakland.
love, like, I would fucking live there if it wasn't so
So
expensive.
yeah,
I
which
like-
is crazy because Oakland's the cheaper side of the two.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It was.
yeah, well, I mean, compared to San Francisco, it still is. San Francisco's
Oh,
so
San Francisco
fucking
is
expensive.
so-
like,
But I mean, like,
Dumb
yeah,
expensive.
It really is. But I mean, in comparison to anywhere
And
else in the country,
it's
so
not
bad.
even
And people
close.
talk about they're like, oh well, Austin's getting expensive. I'm like, yeah, but like my other options, fucking New Orleans, which is like dirt cheap, but you're getting a shitty place.
Yes.
I don't
or
know.
like California, where like I'm not gonna be able to afford it. So I was like, this is a right fucking in between. Where
Yeah.
it's nice but not horribly.
I think that's why a lot of people move here. They're like, New York and LA are too expensive. Austin's right in the middle.
right.
And it's
Yeah.
affordable.
Wait till I fucking blow up, and I'll get out of this house.
Yeah, Boston,
Yeah,
New
dude.
York, and LA are all ridiculous compared to Austin.
But they're so fucking pretty. I would
Bro,
love to.
Louisiana
San
has the best
Francisco
food
is
though.
gorgeous.
Louisiana food is so
Louisiana's-
fucking good.
Yeah, 100%. But you gotta
I-
know the right people nowadays, because I feel like the restaurants are getting more generic. But yeah, if you find like there's still that New Orleans, like, you find a good New Orleans.
Well, yeah,
person.
you got to find like because I went down there for Mardi Gras when I was in college back in like 2000. I wasn't even 21 yet, so it was probably like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, you guys said we got him. We got him.
There he is. We've been waiting. Statute of limitations, bitch. But no, we.
DEA breaks on the fucking door.
Bro, they let you drink down there like crazy. Like they
yeah.
literally, you had to buy a drink just to use the bathroom. So
Yeah.
even just to use the bathroom, they're like, buy this alcohol. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Say no more.
Say less, fam.
we
got-
had a day off there on the tour. I drank for 16 hours straight.
Dude, you can.
Yeah.
You can find, but you find like these hole in the wall restaurants. I had this one place, this dude's like, yeah, man, you got to go to this place and try a muffalata. I was like, what the fuck is a muffalata? He's like, bro, go to this place.
Do you know
and
what a
try
muffalata
Yeah,
is?
it's the fucking regular
I
salami
do.
sandwich.
Bro,
I don't know why they gave it this fancy name.
I worked at this fancy ass bakery that sold those, but anyway.
Yeah, but
It's a
no, you
salami
went to, bro,
sandwich.
you went to this, nah, dude, you went to this place. It was like a brick place in the hole in the wall alley, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you go in there and get this muffalata sandwich, and it's like this big on some special bread and toast.
Ooh, now
it was
I'm
like
in.
the best sandwich I've ever had in my life,
my-
bro. It was so fucking good. I
my-
still think about it to this day.
My favorite
Came
po' boy
just a little
place was like owned owned by like these Korean folks, like just in a neighborhood. It's like a small corner store, and they just made the best Korean barbecue po' boy. And I used to just go in there, and like it wasn't even like traditional New Orleans food, but like these you'll find the best food in like batshit nowhere, fucking small little
I got me a Gator po' boy down there.
Mom and pop shops, you find the best place there. Once everything gets like commercialized and shit, it loses flavor. I don't know how.
That's what I liked about New Orleans. It still had a lot of old school like feel to it.
I do love New Orleans. The only thing is like it's just like because bars are like they never fucking close and you can just like walk from bar to bar with your drink in your hand. It's so hard to like not be partying 24/7.
Wait, bars don't close in New Orleans? Or like to like 4 a.m.?
They do, but I mean like my favorite bar, Snake and Jake's, is an uptown one, and that place goes till like I think like 6 or 7 in the morning.
And they can serve alcohol that whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, because you can have open containers. So
and the whole like Sunday you can't buy alcohol on Sunday.
I think it's like it might be just the French Quarter, but there's no last call.
Yeah,
essentially.
But, man, the craziest part about that trip I'll never forget is I'm in New Orleans and I'm trying to find a bathroom. And I was walking off the strip. I'm trying to find a fucking bathroom, and this guy's like, "Oh, you want to go to the bathroom? There's a little place over there that lets you use the bathroom." So I'm like, I go in there, and it's a fucking church missionary group, and I'm fucking like wasted, blackout on fucking Bourbon Street trying to like find a bathroom.
Yeah, it's their fault. What the fuck are they doing on Bourbon
And
Street?
they're like, there's this like missionary church group. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'll just fucking use their bathroom. And the person starts like, and I'm like waiting to use the bathroom, and the person's like chatting me up, like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Colorado. They're like, oh, cool. We have a person here from our person from Colorado. I'm like, cool. They're like, oh. And you're like, you were born there? I was like, no, I was born in Africa. They're like, oh, he was from Colorado. He was born in Africa too. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta meet this guy.
Yeah.
So I get out of the bathroom. They're like, I'll go find you while you're in the bathroom. So cool. I come out, and it's my fucking cousin. He was like my best friend in high school. We used to like hang out all the time, and he got like super religious and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm down in fucking New Orleans, fucking spreading the word of the beer.
Roasty
And
toasty.
yeah, I'm fucking hammered, and he's out there spreading the word of the Lord. We're just like, oh, this is different.
He's like, let me fucking lead the prayer.
When was the last time you had seen him?
And I hadn't seen him in like 3 years before that. I hadn't seen him since like high school. So like since he graduated, and he graduated the year before me, and this was like my sophomore year of high school, college. So I'd been like 3 years since I'd seen him, and we just run into each other on Bourbon Street, and he's like, "You need to stop drinking." I'm like, "Yeah, I do, dude. I'm fucked up." Like,
that's so funny because
so random.
if you ever like go down to Bourbon, you like there's always 1 or 2 groups with like the signs saying everyone's going to hell and shit like that. But it's like I was just like, that's like the most futile place to go. I sure in their mind they're like, you got to go to the dirt if you want to change something. But I'm like, dude, like no one's fucking gonna be.
They're
like,
not taking in any information.
No one's blacked out drunk going like, you know what? He's making some good points.
I don't know.
I might be hungover tomorrow. I could be praying tomorrow. Like,
sometimes you get so fucked up where you're like, damn, this nigga's right. You're just like,
I wonder how many times that has happened. Just some fucked up dude going up to me and be like, I'm fucking sorry, dude. Like, it's my bad. Like,
the craziest shit happens on those streets, man. Yeah. I remember one time when we were there during that same trip, my boy, we were just in the middle of the crowd on Bourbon Street, just like there's all those people around. My boy's like, here, hold my drink. And he just rolls a blunt, right? He just rolls a blunt in the middle of the street. So we're smoking this blunt, and there's like a group of like these like gangsta-ass looking black dudes. And I say that because he goes, is somebody smoking weed? He's like, yeah, we should roll a blunt. Here, hold my gun. Boy holds his gun, and they roll the joint. And then we pass joints, and I'm just like, it's some gangsta ass dudes. Like, they're for real out here in New Orleans, and we're just smoking blunts on Bourbon Street like nothing.
I remember like the first time I went down there with my family, like my mom's like, she's pretty religious, like she's a weird combination of like Catholic and New Age. Mm-hmm. Like she loves tarot cards, but loves Christ as well.
She's spiritual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like the first time we went to fucking Bourbon, I was like getting ready to go check out schools and shit like that. Fucking like dude, like painted red like the devil, just like all red, like red face, like looks fucking terrifying. Comes up to my mom, goes like, give me your son. I want your son. Like, he's mine. And like, well, apparently I didn't notice. He was like pointing at me and like going like this. He's like, I want a picture with your son. So like, fucking take a picture. Picture exists somewhere. My mom was like, okay. Like, look at picture. And like, I remember like the next day she was just like, I don't know if you should come to school here. I was like, it's like the devil on Bourbon like told me that you were his. Like, It's like I'm sure.
Like, Mom, now I have to stay here. I'm property of the devil.
Like, he's actually probably a really nice guy. He's probably part of the community. He's
Yeah.
Like,
You know he's around the streets.
probably like works at charities and shit like that.
Yeah, he
'Cause that's
picks
how New
up
Orleans
trash.
is. Like, there's always like there's weird like local figures that everyone fucking. I guess
Yeah.
it's like everywhere, but I feel like in New Orleans there are.
Yeah.
it's especially prevalent.
Did you guys do that thing where, because when we were there, all the college kids would take kegs during Mardi Gras and they just like pull them in wagons and shit around the streets during like the parade. So like we literally just like followed a parade. And like just like these college kids, like, hey, you want to hang out? We're like, all right, cool. We just bounce from like party to party along just like the string of like college houses right there, and people are just pulling kegs down the street, bro, just like on fucking wagons. I was like, this is.
Do they have
how-
ice in the wagon?
What's up?
Ice in the wagon?
Some of them had some very fancy setups, but it was not their first rodeo with this maneuver for some.
Did anyone do
So-
like a rolling keg stand?
So, like speaking of whippets, so
It's like can't
yeah.
wheelbarrow.
I worked
okay.
at this fucking smoke shop right above this bar called The Boot, which is like one of the biggest college bars in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And at the smoke shop, like we became the single biggest retailer of whippets in the country. Like just a small smoke shop from when Mardi Gras kicked off.
Yeah.
Like we sold literally like I think like 200 to 400,000 cases of whippets. Or, like, cases of whippets. I swear to God. Yeah, and like I'd never done whippets before. I remember it was like Mardi Gras. My boss goes like, "You ever done whippets before?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, you should probably know what we're selling." So he was like, fucking fills the balloon. He goes,
yeah, the police academy. You can't use pepper spray on someone until you've been pepper sprayed yourself.
He's like, go in the bathroom. He's like, he fucking fills the balloon. So I'm just sitting in the fucking bathroom above this fucking club or this bar, like The Boot. You know, like Drake is like fucking blaring, like, hold on, I'm going home. Like, and I'm just fucking like whomping super hard, like whoa, 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 like sweating in the bathroom. Like I gotta go back to work in 30 seconds.
You start seeing the devil, dude.
And I was like, and I started to
Give
get
me your
nervous.
son.
I was like, oh my God, I can't be this high in front of my fucking boss. And I was like, oh, wait, he gave me the
Which, by the way, seems like a real big HR violation.
Yeah.
You're about, hey, do these. What is
But
this? Training day?
This
bro?
is not an option.
But it's fucking crazy.
You ever
because-
been
'cause
wet, nigga?
Product
Because
samples.
our little smoke shop became the #1 seller in the fucking country, like behind like like giant retail stores that sell it for like bacon.
Like restaurant stores. Yeah.
Shit like that. And we, like our small little smoke shop was just
I
like,
remember going to a restaurant supply store with some kids so they could get whippets.
yeah, it was crazy. People did whippets. So there was this one girl who came in every day of Mardi Gras, and by the end of it, her voice, like she was literally talking like this.
Yep.
And like she was, her and her fucking friend were talking, but she's like, I don't know, I've just been yelling so much this week. It's like, bitch, you're fucking blasting CO2 to the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, with
That's probably not the only thing blasted down the back of her throat.
With the whipped cream canister?
CO2, it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize those whipped cream canisters have like a real hair trigger on them. So, actually, it's pretty hard to pull it, but once
Yeah.
you do,
It's-
it goes
yeah,
off. So I
yeah.
blasted it out of my face the first time I did it, and I had to look around like, who just saw that?
Yeah, I remember my friend handed me a fucking canister like that the first time, and like you think it's like, oh yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's way more overwhelming than you
Yes.
think. It's never easy. I've never seen someone successfully do a whip at the first time.
No. Unless they get the balloon.
Yeah.
But even then, they might fall down.
Wait, it's
None of those
nitrous
fucking-
oxide, right? That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is.
it's
Okay.
laughing
not
gas.
CO2.
Yeah, that's
You're a fan, aren't you?
the only time I've had. It's so lame. The only time I've done whippets is at the dentist because I had to get surgery.
Yeah, but that's like
It was a
the
fucking
high
blast,
grade
though.
shit.
Oh, it was great.
That's medical grade.
That's
It
top
was
shelf.
so, and
Yeah.
you can just keep saying more, and they'll just keep giving you more without questioning it. I'm
Like-
just like, I'm in a lot of pain.
They're
Please
like, I'm
give
kind of
me
excited
more.
to see what happens. Let's fucking keep on going.
And then I was like twirling. I was like doing backflips in the air. I'm like, less.
That's beautiful.
Dentists don't give a fuck. The
Oh my
first
God.
time I
It
was
was the
prescribed.
best I was like, I was literally like, I was like, nah, I'm just doing the Novocaine. I don't need extra. And as soon as they started, I'm like, I would like the gas, please.
Yeah, crank it up.
And they started giving it to me, and then I started getting more and more and more as they were, because I had to get a tooth like extracted, so it was pretty. You can like hear it ripping out. Anyway, so then it was awful. So I was like more, and then like as I'm getting more, I'm like I should do more drugs. Like that was the thought that went
Man,
through my head.
That's your whippet thought?
I was like writing jokes. I was like, I need to write this down right now. Give me my phone,
Medical
doctor.
procedures get the best drugs, man. I remember when I was in the hospital, I'd gotten hit by a car and I had like a collapsed lung, like a fractured sternum, and like all this shit.
I think you've told that story on here.
Yeah, but the best part about it is laying there They gave me the liquid morphine
With the
and
button?
with the button, bro. Just drip. Talk about, bro. You're just like, word. I'm like, I hate drugs. I don't want to.
But nowadays, aren't they like? I mean, they've got to be. I've heard so many stories of people going in like, yeah, they only gave me fucking 5 milligram Percocets.
bro? Back then, well, this was also like 2000, like. What was it? 2007.
Oh yeah, you can get away with anything.
Bro,
back
they
in
gave me so
2007.
much Vicodin afterwards. I did some illegal shit with it afterwards.
Same.
But I definitely, I just didn't like the way they make me feel. But the Vicodins, the Percocets, but that liquid morphine is on a whole different drip, man.
My dentist, I was going to say dentists don't give a fuck because my dentist, I got one wisdom tooth pulled out in 2009. They gave me 12 Percocets and my doctor was like, oh, don't take too many of these. I took 2 and I started seeing little green men around my apartment and like laughing, like telling me party stories and shit. I'm like, you just, like the crisis is just about to begin. Like she had no idea.
No, that's absinthe, doctor.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
fucking
within 2 years, all my friends are on
Smoke
heroin.
DMT.
I've had absinthe. Anyway,
I believe I have too.
Can you still get absinthe? Like, both.
I saw an absinthe bar in New Orleans.
Well, so but like, you know
But
how
the
in,
actual absinthe with the
Hunter
shit.
S. Thompson, when he talks about absinthe and like his books, you know, and shit like that,
Yeah.
like he always makes it seem like it's the most crazy psychedelic thing ever.
It has wormwood in it, which I don't think. No,
maybe I
don't-
haven't.
Well,
This
you
doesn't.
just get
This
hammered.
doesn't sound right.
Yeah, because absinthe.
Yeah, no, you just get hammered, right?
The
It's,
way-
it's like all sugar. So
Because I just
drink
remember
it.
reading that book and like the way he described it, I was like, oh, this sounds like a fucking crazy.
But I think
I was
there's
in
like
a-
there's
I was in
like
a
regular absinthe, but
sorority.
there used to be like crazy absinthe, right? With like different like psychedelic properties in it. I thought it changed.
Whatever wormwood is, but I don't think it's really like that potent of a psychedelic.
I was in a sorority and we had one of those Gatorade water dispenser things, and it was just filled with alcohol with absinthe in it. That was the jungle juice.
One
for
of
the
like
night.
the soccer practice coolers.
Yeah, yeah.
when I was like 14, me and my friend like got into our parents' like liquor cabinet or my and I just started mixing whatever booze I could.
Yeah.
And mix like absinthe, fucking vodka, like all. It was the most disgusting thing ever. I wouldn't recommend it.
You made a Long Island iced tea,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
Made that
Exactly.
jungle
But that shit
juice.
was so funny. I remember like we had this fucking canister of like just booze, like mixed booze, sitting there for like weeks because we couldn't even.
Yeah.
We were like, this is disgusting. We can't drink this.
I was
And we
telling
like try to take a sip and like almost gag.
The first time I drank was
Yeah.
on my school bus in 8th grade, and this kid, he didn't know what to do either, so he mixed vodka with Mike's Hard Lemonade. And I chugged half of a giant water
He's
bottle of it.
close. He was
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, good natural
I went to a
instincts, dude.
mixer.
frat party in
right
Boston when I was 19, and we went to this frat party, and they gave us like this really small amount of jungle juice. They had like one of those like old school bars in the basement of this like old like brownstone apart. It was like a 4-story like,
Yeah, like
it was like
probation
with
or
every like
prohibition.
every
Yeah.
class of the frat since like it's like the oldest. It's like such an old frat house
in Boston.
in Boston.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, that makes sense,
So
yeah.
we went down there and they gave us jungle juice, but they only gave us like this much of it. I'm like, wow, they're being so like stingy with it. Why are they being so stingy? And then we
They're
drank
using
it.
boat
We're
fuel
like,
for alcohol.
I don't know if that was jungle juice, and we were
It was
all
like
like,
Everclear
Because
in
the
it.
rest of it was roofies.
I think we still don't know what was in it to this day. One of my friends thinks it's codeine. One of my friends thinks it's Xanax. We have no idea. All I know is
Maybe
like
both.
everything went into
Yeah.
like slow motion. Like I was just like people were just moving and they're like
that scene in Garden State.
That's
where-
probably
I think
I
it
think
was
you got
Xanax.
roofied.
no. That no, that's probably codeine. if
Yeah.
you're
I had the
leaning, but-
time of my life. That's all I know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm
this
pretty
was
sure you were
before-
leaning.
That's the
This
one
was-
thing everyone forgets to mention about roofies. It's the time of your life.
This was
Yeah, for a
before
second.
R. Kelly was canceled. I was going hard singing Ignition I met up with a bunch of girls I hadn't seen from high school in so long in this random apartment. I'm like, no way. We're all dancing, grinding on each other. It was a great time.
Well, yeah,
Just
like,
taking eyedroppers of whatever this is.
Was that like Everclear shit?
fucking-
Like,
Oh, Everclear. When you used to make jungle juice with Everclear.
Oh,
with,
we
like,
did that
I remember like
too.
with a red Solo
Oh.
cup, you could fill that much of it with Everclear, and the rest with
Yeah.
like fucking Hawaiian Punch, and it still tastes like a strong.
I just
Well, that's
cleaned.
because Everclear is like
Paul-
it's like this is fuel. This is
Yeah,
gasoline. You're
Paul
just like-
Cypher's left his bong over here. I bought a bottle of Everclear for $20 and cleaned his bong with it. That's how strong
Wait,
that
do you
shit
still
is.
have it?
I see it.
No, I gave it back to him.
100%.
No, the
You ever had
bottle of Everclear.
No, I used the
Bacardi
whole bottle.
151?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, my roommate. It was like right when they stopped selling it. My roommate got a bunch of it, and she used to always make us do shots of 151 before we
Shit's
went
probably
out.
worth a lot of money
151?
now.
Yeah.
That's 'cause
Someone,
that's-
I just
Shit's
worked
like
on a
motor
tour.
oil.
Tell him
with,
about it. That 151.
I just worked on
Oh,
a tour
yeah.
with Tech Nine. Do you know who that is?
Fuck yeah. I actually saw that. That's fucking cool as fuck.
It was pretty cool, yeah. But yeah, he has a drink called Caribou. It's 151 Malibu rum and pineapple juice. But people would bring him bottles of 151 to get signed on the tour because you can't buy it anymore.
He probably has so much 151 stockpiled somewhere.
I probably, yeah.
Is he sober now?
He quit drinking in February. He's almost a year sober.
Nice.
Man, but man, when you make that Caribou though, that 151 rum, and you mix that Caribou up, that shit fucks your world up. Like just like 1 cup, 2 cups, and you're fucking done.
We all got sick on the tour, not COVID. And our bodyguard had a little pint that someone gave to Tech 9, and Tech 9's like, I don't need this shit. So he got the pint of 151. He's like, yo, I'm gonna make us some hot toddies. He's like, I'm gonna get some good tea, and we got the Keurig. He's like, I'm gonna make us like some dope ass hot toddies with 151. And I was like, I don't think they make that anymore. We looked it up, and that bottle was worth like $100. He's like, yeah, this shit. He's like, I'm having Tech 9 sign this. He fucking hid it in his bunk from everybody.
Did you talk to Tech 9 at all about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's verse on that one song?
I heard.
You've heard, you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was on the tour with him when the song got released, and like it went crazy. And the other guy that's on the song, King ISO, he was on tour with us. And the other dude on the song, Joey Cool, came out and did a bunch of shows as well. But
that rock verse is like one of my favorite rap verses of all time.
I heard about the song before it came out. Everyone was like, because like all the crew was talking and shit, and they were like, yeah, he got The Rock on the album. And I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, he wrote The Rock's verse, but because The Rock does like Disney movies and shit, he wrote him a completely clean verse. And then Dwayne was like, yo, what is this pussy shit, bro? He's like, put some edge to it. So that's why he's like, what's my motherfucking name?
Rock. Yeah, I fucking love that shit.
Yo, that's actually gangsta on The Rock's part to be like, put some edge to it.
Yeah.
I love like he has this pause where he goes like, it's about power to drive, like we have to take what's ours.
Yes.
Like his flow is just all over.
What's the? I'll have to check the song out.
Tech did all that. Tech probably recorded that exact verse and sent it to him to like mimic.
Yeah, I figured, I was like, I wonder how much time like he had to like sit there. I was literally thinking, I was like, there's no way he wrote this verse. Like someone else had to have written it for him.
I met the dudes who shot the music video. This dude Jeff, and so they flew from Kansas City to Los Angeles to meet up with The Rock, and they were supposed to have 4 hours to film the music video with him. They get there, they have to wait for a few hours, and while they're like waiting around on this like studio or wherever they were, they hear The Rock in other rooms like, yo, what's up, China? My new movie, blah, 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 comes out this Friday. He's like, what's up, India? He's like shooting all these promos. He's doing all this other shit. He comes out, and his people are like, yeah, you have 45 minutes to shoot this video. The Rock does. It's about drive. It's about power. He doesn't stop, dude. He's a workaholic.
He's a fucking machine. That's how you become The Rock, though. Which is like, because what's his face? Mo Amer, the comic.
Yeah.
Like his new special on Netflix. His opening is done by The Rock.
Yep.
So he's just like, yo, I had The Rock introduce me. So he like called out The Rock, and The Rock does this like whole script and introduces him. So his like whole intro is just a video intro from The Rock.
That's
that's how you know you've made it.
It's crazy, like this like group of famous people who have like gotten to the point where they do anything and everything these days. I feel like that wasn't so prominent until like recently. Like this group of famous
Tom
people,
Cruise in a movie still does a movie every few years.
But like Snoop Dogg does fucking everything all the time. Kevin Hart does everything all the fucking time.
And
like
The Rock.
fucking Dwayne Johnson does fucking everything all the time. It's like, it's crazy. It's like it's such a like I could never do that with my life.
Yeah, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
That's a lot of. But it's also like But it's funny because like you hear Joe Rogan talking about like Kevin Hart or The Rock or whatever. He's like, they make me feel lazy. Like I don't know how you could work like because they're like they are workaholics. Like it's a lot of work.
And they're yoked.
Yeah,
they're in great shape.
Yeah, The Rock is absolutely yoked. Kevin Hart, I take it with a grain of salt because he's like 5'2.5". Like, it's pretty easy. He lifted like one weight, and he's like, "Oh, check it out."
You think The Rock's natty?
Absolutely not.
That's the funniest question to ask.
Nah, that dude is juiced up to the gills, bro. And I don't even blame him. Like, honestly, if I could get some clean HGH, I'd be on that shit today.
Oh, right. He's got the best team on him.
No, that dude is almost like 50. Your body just doesn't age like that.
He was in the WWE forever.
Yeah.
Like, we know those guys.
He made it out without getting addicted to opiates, which is amazing.
Pretty fucking wild.
And he played football in college, so those guys were on the juice.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his dad? Dude, his dad's also fucking but that guy, though, you can see that guy, I don't know when fucking steroids became like super big or anything.
Like the 70s, 80s.
I think it was before then, but that guy's fucking huge. Like that seems like sometimes you look at a body, you're like, oh, that's made up with chemicals, and then you look at a body, you're like, that guy's just fucking
He's
massive.
just Samoan.
He's just a goddamn gorilla. Yeah.
I
He's
love
a
those.
cookie.
I was
Oh,
watching
yeah.
this documentary
Sorry.
one time about like how everyone should be vegan. That was essentially what the documentary was about, and it was all these just like super jacked dudes, and it's like, I only eat a plant-based diet. It's like, what else are you adding to that diet? I feel like I was like, there's no way.
Chemical.
There's
That makes
no
my
way.
salads
are
with my
technically
steroids.
I put some, what is it, HGH
Like,
in my kale.
You know that dude who's like going viral right now, who's like the guy who lives on raw liver. You know
No.
about this guy? There's this fucking jacked ass dude who like claims that he only lives off of like raw liver and a diet and like working out. But like if you go to the comment section, like every single person's like, this guy's definitely fucking juiced up. You can like it's just weird. It's like it's pretty obvious. Like, you can tell when someone's juiced up these
Yeah.
days. So I don't understand why you.
You know what's hilarious?
There are other dudes who are juiced up who their whole channel or Instagram page is calling out dudes that are juiced up. They like look at all these pictures of them and like their muscle structure and all this stuff. And like,
Are there
How
any
do you think they know that they're juiced up?
Yeah.
Because
Are there any people who just like do steroids just for the fuck of it and don't work out? Like just
know.
like
They
the way
just really
steroids-
want a deep
yeah.
voice
No
and
one
facial
just-
hair.
They just kind of want tits. And
no one's gonna
small
know. You're
balls.
just gonna look fat. You're just like straight
Does
up.
it? They shrink your balls? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. There's a whole big thing.
one of the rappers
Big
on
thing
tour
about
told me I should just take testosterone booster just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
just to be
No,
more of
you'll
like
lose
a
your
man.
hair.
Well,
I don't want to lose my hair.
Yeah,
You'll
like
lose your hair.
a lot of people. It's becoming more and more common to like just start getting testosterone therapy like when you're like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
because I mean it drops over time anyway.
He was like, dude,
most people don't do it until they're 50.
He's like,
but
Western men are such fucking pussies. He's like, you go out to like Eastern Europe, they're fucking real men. All they do is like drink, fight, and fuck because they got high teeth.
I was gonna say, dude, France
They
is
got high
east to me.
tea, dude.
France is east to me. So don't talk about pussy men in the West. But I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Like there's some people like that I know who I'm actually in a huge debate with one of my friends right now about another one of our friends doing steroids because like he got really ripped in a period of like 4 months.
Yeah.
And swears like he just like only eats like smoked trout or salmon or something like that.
Why is
And
it
just works out.
There has to be one food.
And like the moment he said that, everyone was like, "Yeah, I don't." Yeah. So like, we're in this whole debate about it right
I
now.
highly trout it.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like the benefit of the doubt. and
Benefit
be
of the
like,
trout.
"Oh, he's benefit of the trout, and be like, no, he's just working
The
hard.
benefice of the trout.
Double.
We're on a roll.
Yeah,
Hook,
dude.
sinker.
This is
whatever.
who I am. I'm sorry.
Line sinker.
Oh man, you guys are off the hook.
I'm going home.
We're about to wrap it up.
What was his net muscle mass?
Are you wearing a Brett Michaels
It
t-shirt?
was a weak
Yeah,
one.
Not
dude.
a Poison t-shirt,
This
a Brett Michaels
This is a
t-shirt.
Brett Michaels t-shirt. It's in a collaboration with fucking PetSmart. Right here, hold on.
Of all the things that you were gonna
Yeah.
say collaboration for, I didn't see PetSmart coming.
Show this off to the camera right now.
Does your pet rock?
Oh my god. Show the front. Stand up straight. Hell yeah, dude.
Does your pet rock?
That's
your pet
smart.
Fucking Brett Michaels.
Sponsored by PetSmart.
Wasn't he the Poison of Love guy? That's him, right?
Rock of
Yeah,
Love.
Rock of Love.
He was in
That's it.
Poison.
That's such a funny
Same
fucking show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got this shirt at like a fucking place that was like closing down for like $5, and it's a little small, like smaller shirt than I usually would wear.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't pass up the opportunity to
Yeah.
have like a cool Rock of Love.
If I knew you were from
PetSmart.
from the Bay, I had to stop wearing it because I've been wearing it for 4 days. But I got a free E40 t-shirt sweatshirt
oh
on the
fuck
tour.
yeah, from where? Where did you?
Tech 9 printed E40's merch for a couple of years, I guess.
Oh really?
So there's a bunch of leftover E40 stuff in their warehouse.
That's so funny. It's so funny, like going to any sort of Oakland event, like E40 is just bound to show up. Like like his posse's just somewhere around. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Tell
just
me when to
there.
get.
Have you seen E40 on the wild?
Have I seen him out? Yeah, a couple times. Like just like festivals or street fairs and shit like that. You'll just see him pulling up like a whole squad. He'll film a music video in the middle of this shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny. I would love to be that famous. Like local in your hometown is just a legend to where you can like
Yeah.
film a music video in the middle of a festival and everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I want to be in the E40 video.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, I guess you could be like one of those hometown legends. Everyone's like, ah, fuck, that guy's coming back and filming his music video.
Yeah.
Or you could be like E40 and everyone fucking loves him. It's great.
Well, what do you think about the Bay? Like, he's one of the first. It's like Mac Dre, E40, Too Short.
Yeah.
It was like the top 3 guys over there.
R.I.P.
And
Mac Dre.
Another thing is like no one knows Mac Dre outside of California. I didn't realize that. I thought everyone knew who Mac Dre was.
Yeah.
And then I like went to school in New Orleans and like, you know, like people who I like thought like loved rap music, I'd be like Mac Dre. They'd be like, who the fuck is that?
Bro, I used to think
Well,
I
he-
loved.
he died in 04, so like if
Yeah.
if you didn't really like dig deep into the hyphy shit in like 06 when it like popped off mainstream, a lot of
Elvis
people.
died in like the 70s and everyone knows that motherfucker.
Yeah, but Elvis was worldwide. Mac Dre was pretty.
I used
He
to
wasn't.
think.
Yeah, Tech Nine. Was,
I only knew like Mac Dre. Like I knew a couple songs by him, but like one of my boys in college, he was from Cali, and he was from the Bay Area, like a little bit north of that, like Santa Rosa. So I go up that area all the time and like spend some time out there. But like Mac Dre's like that's all we listened to for like a year, just getting high,
Everyone
listening to
keeps
Mac
seeing
Dre.
my E40 hoodie, and they keep telling me that Andre Nicotina is coming to Austin soon.
Yeah, that's
Really?
the other thing.
Yeah.
Andre
Have
Nicotina.
you- that
Is he still in the
album,
game?
Andre and Andre. It's got it's Mac Dre and Andre Nicotina.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome fucking album.
I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah,
too.
it's
that's a
fucking
good one.
fire.
Is the Grouch and Eli still a thing? They still around?
Actually, actually, I have no idea. I was gonna like pretend like I was gonna talk like I was like, yeah, actually, you know, but I have no idea.
Making it up. That's no. They're just all
But
that
it's
area.
like Too Short. Everyone knows Too Short. You can go to you can say Too Short. Most people who like know anything about rap are like, yeah, Too Short. But Mac Dre, I don't know what it is.
They do
He's so
Too Short
local.
and E40. Everybody knows him. Mac
Yeah.
Dre was like the one that slipped through.
He
but-
blew up after he died, but even then, like,
Yeah.
not so big.
Well, yeah, it's like every time you go to a party, like you're gonna hear a Too Short song.
Blow the Whistle's gonna come on.
And
What's
Shake that
my
monkey.
favorite
16-year-olds
word?
will still fucking bump that shit.
Yeah, it's probably like there's probably a TikTok trend of like Too Short songs or something.
Because he has that classic line, "What's my favorite word?
Bitch,
Why you gotta say it like short?"
bitch.
They even say that on inside the NBA with like Charles Barkley and Shaq. It'll just be like on air on like cable news. It'll be like, "What's my favorite word, Chuck?" like, and they'll just like make inside jokes about rap music.
Charles
and shit.
Barkley's like, bitch. Charles Barkley. I just watched the
You were
fucking.
terrible.
I watched the Last Dance documentary finally,
Yeah.
the Michael Jordan one.
Yeah.
That is such a good documentary. Like I know I'm so late on it, but that
I am
so
too.
good.
I just love documentaries, so I'll probably give it a shot.
Yeah, dude. Because
If you like documentaries for what it is, it's a good one. But I have a beef. I have a beef with Michael Jordan. So whatever.
I want to hear you beef with Michael Jordan.
First of all,
I don't know if we have time for this.
Where do I begin?
I have a theory though. Like me and my friend were actually gonna do our own podcast called Hog Talk.
Yeah.
Where we were gonna like infer on celebrities' penis sizes. First one was gonna be Michael Jordan, goat or field mouse, because in our case he was gonna argue that he's got a small dick. I think he's got like maybe like pretty average. My friend's argument was like, no one's that fucking competitive. He's like, no one's as competitive as Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Without a tiny penis.
Wow.
Listen,
And I was like,
if-
that's a good fucking point.
if
That's
Michael
some major
Jordan-
overcompensation.
If Michael Jordan had a small dick, I don't think he would have be able to be as good as basketball as he is.
But think about how much air he was able to get. Think about how aerodynamic. You can't do that with a giant schlong in between your fucking legs.
Slide, bro, it works like a propeller, dude. You spin that shit, you get more elevation, dude. Like there's massive amounts of confidence needed to do what Michael Jordan did, and I just as a dude, I just don't know a lot of dudes with small dicks that are like. And I feel like if his teammates found out he had a small dick, they wouldn't have respected him. Like they couldn't have been like
that
the
would've gotten
asshole
out
that
by
he was.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you couldn't be the asshole that he was. That he gets away with being with a small dick. You couldn't do it. Like you can't be that kind of asshole with a small dick. You just
Well,
can't.
but unless you have 5 fucking or 6 fucking championships. under
Yeah,
your
but the
fucking
thing
belt.
about
Yeah.
locker rooms are
But
super
he
gay.
is
So all
so-
your teammates
yeah.
know what your dick size is.
True,
And if they're
true,
like,
true.
if Michael's like, yo, play defense, I'd be like, shut up, small dick. Like, it would have
Yeah.
ended his career.
Because even his teammates didn't like him.
Yeah, they were like, and they respected him. That's the thing. They didn't like him, but they didn't respect him. No one respects a guy with an asshole with a small
so I
dick.
was
No
gonna
one
say,
respects
I guess
you.
an argument could be made that like like if he had a small dick, then he wouldn't have been able to win any of that shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
Everyone would have been like,
I
really,
thi-
Michael?
I think it's
Really?
the opposite. I think Michael Jordan's like, yo, my dick is so big, I need to rule the world. Like he just thought he was just out here like literally like just swinging. Like that was his.
It is funny though because he takes he takes the pettiest shit so personally. He's like, he looked at me weird, so he's like, so I had to fucking wreck his fucking career.
So I had to drop 75 on him.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah. Jerry Krause said he liked this one player, so I had to fucking end this guy's career. I'm like, dude, like what the? Why is he so fucking vindictive? Like,
He even made stuff up. It'd be like, yeah, this guy talked about my mom. The dude's like, never even said that. And Michael's like, so I had to destroy him. Dude's
There's
like,
that
I don't
one
even know what
story
he's talking about.
where the guy's like, where he's like, yeah, you know what he told me? The guy said, have a nice game, Michael. He's like, so I fucking wrecked him. And later he's like, no, he never said that to me. Like even then, like, have a nice game, Michael.
Yeah,
He was like, I didn't like the way he
It's
said
like
it.
the cashier said, "Have a nice day."
He's
So
all,
like,
"That's
Don't
it."
fucking tell me
So
what
I
to do.
dunked on her too. He's
got
like-
this 7-Eleven shut down.
Apparently,
So I shot his dog.
The one
Fucking
thing
hate
Michael
him.
was butthurt about is he tried to fuck Madonna one time.
But Dennis Rodman.
No. Before that, she wanted to fuck Scottie Pippen, and Michael was butthurt because he's like, "I'm better than Scottie at everything." And then it made me realize, like, damn, even Michael Jordan got shut down by someone he was trying to spit at. Michael Jordan got ghosted, so if some girl shuts you down, you'll be okay. Like,
You know, like Future had sex with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife at one because Scottie Pippen refused to give him an autograph or something. So like when Future became famous, he went and fucked Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Man,
I think that's where I fucked your bitch in Gucci flip-flops comes from. I think that's the story. He
I
fucked
love
Scottie Pippen's
NBA.
wife.
Future talks about fucking other people's bitches a lot.
I love
So-
NBA fuck stories. My favorite is Derek Fisher used to play for the Lakers with Kobe. He was the coach for the New York Knicks, and Matt Barnes was a player that used to play with him on the Lakers. And then Matt Barnes found out that Derek Fisher was fucking his ex-wife, and Matt Barnes drove 4 hours to beat his ass. And that is hilarious to me. That is my favorite thing. NBA players are the craziest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You just you're all like 6'12", and you have a bunch of money and just crazy athleticism. Like, what do you do with that? Just
Yeah, seriously. And then you got like musicians too, like someone like Eric Clapton or George Harrison, who are like, yeah, you can have my wife. Like, I don't care. Like, you can have my ex-wife. Like, sure. Write a fucking song about her. Start a whole band. Create one of the best albums of all time. I don't give
I'll
a
get
fuck.
paid off of my pain,
Yeah,
bro.
he's like, I don't care. I'm George
Well,
Harrison. I was in the best band ever.
And on that note, we did.
Yeah,
it, damn
John,
it.
thank you so much for hanging out, dude.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me. You
It's
guys
been a
are
fun
awesome.
one.
This was
solid, man.
absolute great time.
Your song is out right now.
Yep.
what's
Ain't
it-
nothing wrong on all platforms.
Hell yeah. And find us on the Patreon platform.
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
We should have plugged ourselves too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
We should have, yeah.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Link in the description.
All right, let's just start it over real quick.
All the way to the beginning.
All right.
What if
restart.
none of this
Peace.
recorded?